In this episode of Wes Explains Random Japanese Thing, I'm going to explain this Vocaloid song by the Vocaloid producer Katerazawa. If you're not familiar with them, they've released 4 songs to date as of the time of this video, and they're all bangers. But this one's quite funny in a way that requires a bit of explanation, in that it's kind of hard to translate as there's a lot of wordplay involved. Basically, the fundamental idea behind this song is that Hatsune Miku and Kasane Teto are at a party, and Teto asks Miku if she wants to leave. In response, Miku states that she is not going to leave because there is a specific event happening which involves a long description. And then the humor of the song comes from the fact that Teto takes this description and shortens it into a tongue twister. Both the thing that's happening at the party and the tongue twister are very, very bizarre and strange, but taking kind of the randomness of the event and then phrasing it in that fun way, with the tongue twister itself often involving a lot of rhyme and alliteration, is kind of where the humor comes from. And while you can translate the meaning, translating it with all that is quite difficult. So let's go through what's actually going on. In the first interaction, this happens 3 times in the song, Miku rejects the invitation to leave the party because there is going to be a... Yes, that's right. A delinquent who will bungee jump while wearing a t-shirt featuring a musician on it and some cute underwear. This is then rephrased by Teto as... So that is a Banti Panti Yankee Banji Party. This is the easiest one to understand because a Banti is a band shirt, right? Panti are panties. A Yankee is a type of Japanese delinquent. And then, of course, Banji is just a bungee. So that one's pretty easy, but things get ramped up as we move into the second rejection. This time, the reason that Miku does not want to leave is... which means that there is going to be a very thin soldier who is wearing feminine clothing and whose fingers are shaking from the cold. This is shortened into the phrase, one second, gari 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 kajikami ami. And if we break that down, we have gari gari, which is one of those Japanese onomatopoeias for vibes, and this time the vibe is being very, very thin. Gari, that comes after that, is instead simply a borrowing of girly, but of course rendered in Japanese to a point where it's very hard to link it back. And kamikaji is a conjugation of the verb kajikamu, which means to shiver from the cold. And then of course, ami is just a soldier, right? Army. The third interaction then involves Miku stating that the party is going to feature a... which is the most difficult to understand, but basically at the end of the sentence there, you can see kyodaina pinku, which means a giant pink, but this is actually like the noun in the sentence. It's the doer of the sentence. It is the thing that is doing the relative clause that appears before, and that relative clause says that it is doing gyaru dances and also being a fan of things that are next to Costa Rica. And that giant pink girl dancing Costa Rica next to loving thing is having a kaitai show, which as far as I know is not a real thing, but basically means like a disassembly show. So if you want to go on to the Vocaloid wiki and fix this, please do. But that's what's going on. Now this is then shortened into... just hold up. Panamaha para para baba papa bara bara party. That's the best I'm going to do. So Panamaha is like the Panama crowd, the Panama group, right? Because it's next to Costa Rica. And then para para refers to a dance, perhaps better said a dance style, which is mainly done with the arms. This has existed since the 1980s, but apparently Gyaru like to do them. For instance, here's Gyaru from the TikTok channel of the magazine Egg, which is the Gyaru magazine of all Gyaru magazines. And it's got 300,000 likes, and they're doing a para para.
How low can you go? How low can you go? How low can you go?
Oh, there you go. Baba Papa is this character who is giant and pink, which is the giant pink thing, right? I said it would make sense, kinda. And then you have Bara Bara at the end, which is, again, a vibe onomatopoeia for the vibe of things being taken apart. So that's how you get all that into that phrase. And then finally, the song ends with Miku simply rejecting Teto's invitation because just doesn't want to leave, which is the fun little twist. So that's it. If you've seen it, that's what the jokes are. That's what the wordplay is. And I hope you enjoyed this random thing that I wanted to talk about. As for me, though, I've got to run because I have to get to a party hosted by an unintelligent traveler wearing an oversized hippo-patterned raincoat. You know, a gabba gabba kabba kappa baka bappa party. That's the best you're going to get.